Hello student. Today we'll discuss about the one of the important cycle in the refrigeration, that is the vapor compression refrigeration system. This topic is covered in the unit number 3, that is the refrigeration in thermal engineering 2 subject. At the end of this lecture, you will be able to understand the working of vapor compression refrigeration system, that is the VCRS, identify the various component of the VCRS, know the pH, TS and PV diagram of the VCRS, and at the last you will be able to know the COP of the VCRS. Now vapor compression refrigeration cycle working. As we already discussed in the earlier lecture, in any refrigeration system there are four components will be there. One is the compressor, condenser, expansion device, and the fourth one is the evaporator. Similarly, in the vapor compression refrigeration system, that is VCRS, these four components are used. Also, there is a working medium, it is there. The working medium is known as a refrigerant. This refrigerant, the phase of the refrigerant, it is in the vapor form in the compressor and also in the liquid form in the condenser or as well as in the receiver case. So in the compressor side, the low pressure vapor refrigerant is entering into the compressor. In the compressor, this low pressure vapor refrigerant is converted into the high pressure vapor refrigerant. After that, this high pressure as well as high temperature vapor refrigerant, it goes to the condenser. In the condenser, this high pressure, high temperature refrigerant, it is converted into the liquid, but the pressure is high. So this high pressure liquid is stored in the receiver. After that, it goes to the expansion valve. In the expansion valve, this high pressure liquid, it is converted into the low pressure liquid. In the expansion process, there will be the certain vapor will be formed. So the low pressure liquid as well as vapor mixture, the amount of the vapor in the expansion process is very less. So we can say the majority portion is the low pressure liquid. So the function of the expansion valve or any refrigerant control valve, it is reduce the pressure of the refrigerant from high pressure to the low pressure. The reason is that we require to have low pressure liquid as well as low temperature liquid. So this expansion valve will reduce the pressure as well as it will reduce the temperature of the refrigerant. So after the expansion valve, we will have the low pressure and low temperature refrigerant. So this low pressure, low temperature refrigerant, it is entering into the evaporator. Evaporator is the space that we need to cool the particular substance. If we require to cool the any substance, we can use this evaporator to cool that particular substance. So this low pressure, low temperature refrigerant is entering into the evaporator. So in the evaporator coil, this low pressure, low temperature refrigerant, it absorbs the heat from the outside. If there is a substance is there, it will absorb the heat from the substance. Or if there is a hot air, it blows in the evaporator, it will absorb the heat from the air. So this low pressure, low temperature refrigerant, it is absorb the heat from the outside. It gives the cooling effect. It gives the refrigerant effect. So this evaporate at the end of the evaporator, this refrigerant is converted into the vapor form and its pressure is a low. So in the evaporator, we will get the refrigerating effect. After that, this evaporator, from the evaporator, this low pressure vapor, goes to the compressor. So this is the main working of the vapor compression refrigeration system. These are the points. 1 to 2, it is for the compressor. 2 to 3 is the condenser process. 3 to 4, we can say that is the expansion process, including the receiver. And 4 to 1, it is the evaporator process. Now, which are the components of the VCRS? As we discussed in the cycle, that in the VCRS system, first is the, you can say that the sequence may be the change. That is the evaporator, suction line, because evaporator has a suction line, from compressor has a suction line. Then there will be the discharge line, because compressor will receive the low pressure vapor from the suction line. It will discharge the high pressure vapor. So this it requires the discharge line from the compressor. It is goes to the condenser. Then there will be the receiver, expansion valve, there will be the liquid line, and there will be the evaporator. These are the component in the VCRS. Now it is important to understand the pH, TS, and PV diagram of the VCRS. So this is the pH diagram, P for pressure and H for enthalpy. So in the pH diagram, this is the evaporator pressure and this one is the condenser pressure. And these are the point 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 to 2 is the compression process. 2 to 3 is the condensation process. 3 to 4 is the expansion process. Before going into the pH diagram, we need to understand the regions. This line is known as a saturated liquid line. This line is known as a saturated liquid line. Saturated liquid line, from the saturated liquid line, the left region, it is known as a subcooled liquid region. This is known as a subcooled liquid region. Another is a liquid plus vapor, or we can say the wet region. This is saturated liquid line. This one is a saturated vapor line. The region between these two lines, it is known as a wet region, or we can say that we have the liquid plus vapor. And this one is a superheated vapor region. So this saturated vapor line, on the right side, we will have the superheated vapor region. When the saturated vapor line and saturated liquid line intersect, we will get the critical point. So before going into the pH diagram, we need to understand the region. It will really useful for the solving the example of the VCRS. So pH diagram is one of the important diagram for the VCRS. As we already know from the working of the VCRS from the schematic diagram, that is a low pressure vapor. So this is the evaporator pressure, which is low. So low pressure vapor, it is entering into the compressor. Its pressure is increased as well as temperature increase. This is one is the compression process. This is saturated vapor. It is converted into the superheated vapor. After that, it is goes to the condenser process. In the condensation will take place in the condenser. So this superheated vapor is condensed and it is converted into the liquid. So we need to shift this 2 point into the third side on the left side. So this is the 3 point where this vapor is converted into the liquid form, but still its pressure is high. So we required to reduce the pressure to get the refrigerating effects. That's why we required the expansion devices. So in the VCRs, there are the different expansion device we can use, like the capillary tube, refrigerant control valve, depends on the application. So this is the expansion process where the liquid refrigerant, which is at a high pressure, it is converted into the low pressure and low temperature refrigerant. As I already mentioned, when there will be the expansion process, there will be the generation of the vapor. So this after the expansion process, some of the vapor will be generated. So this 4 point is in the region of liquid plus vapor region. But the majority portion is the liquids. That's why this 4 point on the left side of the liquid plus vapor region. It is not on the right side. It is not there in the right hand side, but it is on the more on the left side where we will have the more liquid. So after the expansion process, the refrigerant condition is very low pressure and very low temperature. So we can utilize for the cooling effect, we can utilize for the refrigerating effect. So we require the evaporator. So in the evaporator, this liquid refrigerant is evaporated to get the refrigerating effect. So this evaporator, it will absorb the heat from the substance. So refrigerant will absorb the heat and it is converted into the vapor form, and the cycle will be the repeated. So this is the pH diagram of the VCRS. Whenever you use the pH diagram, just indicate the refrigerating effect and W compressor. So it will utilize to solve the examples as well as for the mathematical analysis of the VCRS. Now TS diagram. So in the TS diagram, we will concentrate on the temperature and entropy. These are the cycle is a theoretical cycle. There will be the change in the pressure. There will be the change in the entropy. So in the 1 to 2 is isentropic process where the temperature is increased as well as pressure is increasing. This is the pressure line of the condenser. This is the pressure line of the evaporator. And this is one is the temperature 1 to 2 as we already discussed. This is the compression process. So 1 to 2 is temperature increase. After that this goes to the condenser, so slightly the temperature will be drop and continuously it is goes to the saturated liquid line. After the condenser there will be the expansion process, so the temperature has been dropped, and after that there will be the evaporator. So the 4-2 line liquid is converted into the vapor form. So this is the TS diagram of the VCRS. Similarly, you can write the refrigerating effect and the W compression in the TS diagram. Same in the PV diagram. In the PV diagram, we will concentrate on the pressure and volume. As we already discussed, in the compression process, the pressure is increased. This is the evaporator pressure. This one is the condenser pressure. So the evaporator pressure, from the evaporator, the refrigerant, it is entering into the compressor. So compressor will increase the pressure of the refrigerant. So the up to the condenser pressure. So this one is the compression process. As you already know, in the compression process, the volume is reduced. So this is the reduction in the volume in the 1 to 2. Then there will be the condensation process. It is the theoretical constant pressure, but actually practically there is a change in the pressure of the condenser. Then 3 to 4 is the expansion, reduction in the pressure, that is the throttling you can say, or the expansion process. Then after that 4 to 1 is the evaporation process. So this one is the PV diagram. As we already discussed, liquid plus vapor or gas. This is superheated or gas, or this is a subcool or liquid region. This one is the curve for saturated liquid line, and this one is a saturated vapor line. Now we need to understand the VCRS of the COP of the VCRS. For that, we will concentrate on only on the pH diagram to understand the COP of the VCRS. As this one is the pH diagram. In that, as we already discussed, first write the refrigerating effect and W compression. In the pH diagram, we discuss that there will be the change in the enthalpy and as well as the pressure. But the more is enthalpy has been changed. 1 to 2 has been changed. 2 to 3 is changed enthalpy in the condensation process. In the expansion process, the enthalpy will be remain the same. 4 to 1 also there is a change in the enthalpy. So by utilizing the enthalpy, we can find the COP of the VCRS. So more we concentrate on the enthalpy change. So we can write that enthalpy is equal to U plus PV, as enthalpy is a derived property, and derived property means we will use the basic property. So in the enthalpy, as we know from the TDY principle, it is known as a U plus PV. Here there is a lots of change in the enthalpies in the different processes of the compression, evaporation and condensation. So we will do the differentiation of the enthalpy. So we can write that dH is equal to du plus, first there is a two properties there. So we will have the differentiation of the dV, and P will be remain the same. After that we will utilize the P to get the another differentiation of this two parameter PV. So P dV plus VdP. But in the VCRS, there is a evaporation process and condensation process. The enthalpy, the pressure is remain the same theoretically. So this dP is the will be the 0. So this parameter will be the cancel out. So what will be the remaining? dH is equal to du plus PdV. As we know that du plus PdV is known as dQ. So from this we can understood that we can write the enthalpy difference when there is a change in the heat. So here is a heat absorbed, here is a heat rejected in the case of the condensation. So if there is a change in the enthalpy in this process as well as in this process, we can directly write in the form of the enthalpy when there is a change in the when there is a heat is involved, heat transfer is involved, that is a heat absorbed and heat rejected. So we can write in the form of the enthalpy by doing this dH is equal to dQ. Now, evaporation process. In the evaporation process, what is the process? 1 to 4, or you can say 4 to 1. So there is a change in the enthalpy. So H1 minus H4. Why there is a H1 minus H4, not the H4 minus H1? The reason is that this H1 is the higher value as compared to the H4. So to get the positive value, we will utilize H1 minus H4. That is the change in the enthalpy in the case of the evaporation. So in the evaporation process, we will have the refrigerating effect. So we will utilize H1 minus H4, that is in the kilojoule per kg, QE. Now, in the 4 point, in the expansion process, the enthalpy remain the same. So we cannot find directly for the enthalpy of at the 4 point. But we know that this 3 to 4 is an expansion process where the H3 is equal to H4. So we can write H1 minus H3 by replacing H4 is equal to H3, because expansion process, the enthalpy remain the same. That is 3 and 4 is the same. So we can write H1 minus H4 is equal to H1 minus H3. Now, condensation process. So in the condensation process, there is an enthalpy change from 2 to 3, and 2 is the higher value as compared to the 3. So condenser is the H2 minus H3. Similarly, compression work. So this one is the compression process. In this, there is an enthalpy change from 1 to 2, but the 2 is the higher value as compared to 1. So we will have the W compressor H2 minus H1. Now, what is COP? As we already discussed in the earlier lecture, COP is equal to refrigerating effect divided by work of W net. So in the refrigerating effect is our evaporation process, that is the H1 minus H3. So this is the refrigerating effect from the evaporation process. And what is the W compressor? That is the H2 minus H1. So this is the COP of the VCRS cycle. So by utilizing this enthalpy value, we can find the COP of the VCRS system. In that, we require the 3 enthalpy, that is H1, then there is H2, and there will be the H3. If you have the value H1, H2, and H3, you can find the COP of the VCRS. So that we discuss of the COP of the VCRS. So in this lecture, we discuss about the working of the VCRS. Then we discuss about the pH, TS, and PV diagram of the VCRS. After that, we evaluate the COP of the VCRS by doing the enthalpy changes, by observing the enthalpy changes. So that is the equation of the COP. Thank you.